Welcome to SATV News. This is Anaf Hussain with our headlines. A party has emerged as new oppressor, says Tariq Rahman. One party is systematically spreading lies about the hacking of X account, says Jamaat-e-Islami chief. Government takes strict security measures for free, fair elections, says Home Advisor. Additional security measures to be taken at sensitive centers. Now in details. BNP chairman Tariq Rahman, without naming any party, said some leaders of the once secret organization became new tyrants, just like autocrats. The party, once for its covert identity, now has emerged as new oppressor. He said at an election rally at Bells Park ground in Barishal city today, mothers and sisters of the country are not safe from there. He said, adding that after August 5th, 2024, the party is using the same language against us as it was used by the autocrats. BNP chairman also said Bangladesh will run based on the people's verdict. People will elect a government on February 12th, which will be accountable to them, he added. Must remain cautious about them, stating that the country cannot move forward by keeping women confined in homes. The BNP chairman said men and women must work together, shoulder to shoulder, otherwise building the desired country will not be possible. Meanwhile, BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir today said spreading confusion in the name of religion can never be acceptable or proper politics. They speak in the name of Islam but deceive people. They are saying that voting for the scale symbol will ensure entry into heaven. No true Muslim can believe such claims. He said the BNP leader was addressing a street rally at Kismat Daulatpur Dakhil Madrasa ground in Thakurga. He added that Muslims believe salvation depends on deeds, not symbols. The BNP Secretary General said a political group previously unseen in active politics is now emerging ahead of the election. BNP believes in constructive politics and criticism, not personal attacks, and its politics focuses on development and restoring people's rights. The BNP leader added, if BNP comes to power, he stressed the new government will take responsibility for repaying loans taken from NGOs, he further said. Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami Amir Dr. Shafiqur Rahman today said a political party is systematically spreading lies about the hacking of his X account. He also said Jamaat-e-Islami does not want to establish a partisan government, even it is the largest party of the current era. Jamaat Amir was addressing an election rally organized by the 11-party alliance at Kurigram College ground, referring to the 2024 mass uprising in Rangpur region. He recalled the role of Abu Said, saying his bravery had ignited the July movement. He also placed that if Jamaat comes to power, development work would begin from Kurigram, which he described as one of the most backward districts in the country. Besides, Dr. Shafiqur said that the state itself was forcing government officials and employees toward corruption by failing to ensure them a dignified livelihood. Home Advisor MD Jahangir Alam Chaudhary today assured that the law and order situation in Khulna division remains fully under control ahead of the 13th national election, expressing confidence that the polls will be held in a free, fair, peaceful and uninterrupted manner. He made the remarks while talking to journalists after a view exchange meeting with administrative and law enforcement officials of the Khulna region this morning. There is no reason for being concerned in this region. The election will be held in a festive environment, the Home Advisor said, adding that there is no scope to be doubtful regarding voting and election results. He also said there is no concern regarding law and order or the conduct of the upcoming election, expressing hope that the polls will be held in a festive atmosphere. Regarding election time security, he said the law enforcement agencies will remain deployed in the field for 7 days, 4 days before polling, on the polling day, and 2 days after the election. He noted that the highest number of security personnel, along with modern technology, is being deployed to ensure overall security. He further said that additional security measures will be taken at centers identified as sensitive based on the prevailing situation. The Election Commission has postponed the election in the Sherpur 3 constituency following the death of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami candidate Nuruzzaman Badal. Election Commissioner Abdur Rahmanul Masood confirmed the matter today. He said the election in Sherpur 3 will be cancelled for the time being and formally terminated under Article 17 of the Representatives of the People Order. A fresh election scheduled for the constituency will be announced later, he added. Strike brings Chattogram port to a standstill. CTG port operations halted as workers began 24-hour strike over NCT leasing plan operations at Chattogram port. The country's busiest trade hub have come to a standstill as a strike by port workers and employees drag on, triggering significant delays in import and exports. As talks are underway between labor representatives and port authorities to resolve the crisis. The strike continued for the 4th consecutive day on Wednesday, protesting the plans to lease the new mooring container terminal NCT to global port operator DP World. As a result, import-export trade has come to a standstill, inflicting losses worth several hundred crore taka on shipping lines. The workers of Chattogram port have been observing work stoppage for 8 hours a day over the past 3 days, from Saturday to Monday, while they observed a 24-hour strike from Tuesday morning. Amid the worsening situation, port-related business leaders have set in an emergency meeting with leaders in a bid to resolve the crisis around 2 p.m. on Wednesday at a hotel in Agrabad area of the Chattogram port city, and it continued until the filling of this report. Labor leaders said port workers and employees went on an 8-hour strike protesting the agreement with a foreign company to operate the new mooring container terminal from Saturday. As their demands were not met, they announced a 24-hour strike from Wednesday. The protesters also alleged that although the NCT is a self-sustaining and profitable terminal built with the port's own funds, steps are being taken to hand it over to a foreign company. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with us.
Or 900. বাংলাদেশ থেকে সিঙ্গাপুরে পণ্য বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন ঢাকা সহ দেশের যে কোনো ৮০টি শাখা কেন্দ্রে। এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল এন্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, আপনার সেবা সব সময়।
Welcome, Grand Palace Hotel, Dhaka. A majestic lobby blending timeless elegance with modern design. Experience 5-star comfort in suites and rooms. Sophisticated fine dining restaurant. Crystal clear swimming pool for ultimate relaxation. Modern gym and serene spa for well-being. perfect venue for corporate events, weddings and parties. Seamless and secured, elegant and eye-catching design. Indulge, relax, discover the first 5-star chain hotels in Bangladesh. Grand Palace Hotel Dhaka, 22 Kakrail, Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Welcome to Grand Club at Mirpur 10 Dhaka. Elegant spa and wellness facility for ladies and gents.
Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. News from abroad. Israeli tank shelling and airstrikes have killed 21 people, including 4 children in Gaza, and Israel has halted the evacuation of patients through the Rafah border crossing, said Palestinian officials. The strikes targeted Gaza City and the southern city of Khan Yunis. A Gaza health official said Israel had also halted the passage of patients through the Rafah border crossing to Egypt 2 days after it had reopened, allowing a trickle of Palestinians to cross for the first time in months. According to the Red Crescent, patients had arrived at a hospital in Khan Yunis.
Play pool and snooker in International Standard Billiard Zone.
US President Donald Trump has said that talks with Iran are continuing to try to de-escalate tensions in the Gulf, even as the US military shot down an Iranian drone that approached its aircraft carrier in the Arabian Sea. Trump told reporters at the White House on Tuesday that Washington was negotiating with Iran but declined to say where the talks were taking place. Trump, who has been pushing Tehran to agree to talks over its nuclear program, has repeatedly threatened to attack the country again over recent crackdown on anti-government protests. The US President's the USS Abraham Lincoln to the Gulf last week, leading to fear of a possible military confrontation. The carrier strike group, which brought roughly 5,700 additional US troops, joined 3 destroyers and 3 littoral combat ships that were already in the region. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said earlier on Tuesday that he had instructed the country's foreign minister to pursue fair and equitable negotiations guided by the principles of dignity, prudence and expediency, provided that a suitable environment exists.
A pill for $10 that we're selling it for $130, which is not.
US President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed a spending deal into law and that ends a partial US government shutdown and gives lawmakers time to negotiate potential limits on his immigration crackdown. The legislation restores lapsed funding for defense, healthcare, labor, education, housing, and other agencies, and temporarily extends funding for Department of Homeland Security until February 13. Funding for those agencies expired on Saturday as Congress did not act in time to avert a shutdown, which has not resulted in major disruptions for government services so far. Trump negotiated the spending deal last week with Senate Democrats, who are demanding new restraints on Trump's aggressive immigration enforcement tactics following the killings of 2 US citizens by federal agents in Minneapolis last month. The deal passed the Senate by a wide bipartisan margin last week and narrowly passed the House of Representatives earlier on Tuesday by a vote of 217 by 214.
I think I'm going to read the names. I think you deserve to have your names read, and if I don't read any.
Colombian President Gustavo Petro said on Tuesday that his first meeting with US President Donald Trump in Washington was positive, describing it as a conversation grounded in shared values despite political differences. Speaking to journalists hours after the talks, Petro said Trump told him he does not believe sanctions are rational in this particular case. An assessment the Colombian leader said he shares this is not a path of sanctions this is a path of freedom, Petro said, adding that the meeting showed leaders with different powers could still find common ground without resorting to pressure or blackmail. He characterized the exchange as respectful and focused on shared principles rather than personal or business interests. Meanwhile, 3 people died after a landslide struck a neighboring hood in Colombia's Santa Marta following heavy rains, the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management said on Tuesday. An avalanche of mud, rocks and trees collapsed 8 homes and damaged at least 50 others in the early hours of Monday. As residents recalled hearing the massive mudslide rushing down the hillside in Magdalena department in Cordoba, thousands of residents evacuated, flooded.
World-class gym facility with exclusive equipment for man and woman. A restaurant of delicious local and international cuisine. Fully air-conditioned building with spacious banquet.
Russian drone attacks killed 2 people and injured 15 in Zaporizhia and Kharkiv, Ukrainian officials said on Tuesday. In Zaporizhia, 2 18-year-olds were killed and at least 8 people were wounded, Governor Ivan Fedorov said on Telegram. The bodies were seen on the ground near damaged cars in Kharkiv. Firefighters extinguished a fire burning in a
car lift, sky view rooftop restaurant, all in one. Grand Club Limited, Mirpur 10.
হ্যাঁ গো,
আর কত দূর?
আরে আমি তো ফিডের গাড়ির লগে।
তোমার গরু হাঁস মুরগি মাছ তো অনশন শুরু কইরা দিছে।
কি কও? অনশন শুরু কইরা দিছে? কেডা? হাঁস মুরগি মাছ।
আরে ওগো মতি গতি দেখা মনে হইতাছে এসএফ ছাড়া কিছুই খাইবো না।
হ্যাঁ গো, এসে ফিডের খবর ওরা জানলো কেমনে?
আরে ভালো জিনিসের খবর ছড়াতে কি আর মাইক লাগে? খবর ভাসে বাতাসে বাতাসে।
আরে দেখো, এসে ফিডের জাদু।
সম্পূর্ণ নিজস্ব তত্ত্বাবধানে বিশেষজ্ঞদের সমন্বয়ে প্রস্তুত হয় এসএ ফিডের পশু খাদ্য। অত্যাধুনিক প্রযুক্তিতে তৈরি এই পশু খাদ্য যেমন নিরাপদ তেমনি স্বাস্থ্যকর। এসএ ফিড, নিরাপদ ফিড, স্বাস্থ্যকর প্রোটিন। এসএ অ্যাগ্রো ফিডস লিমিটেড একটি এসএ গ্রুপ অফ কোম্পানিজের প্রতিষ্ঠান।
After a bus carrying pilgrims overturned on Tuesday morning in the municipality of São José da Teperia in Brazil's northeast, the Alagoas state government said. The vehicle was transporting about 60 passengers according to authorities. Local outlet Globo reported that the dead included 5 men, 7 women and 3 children. Survivors were rescued from the wreckage and taken to hospital across the region.
Grand Palace, 5-star chain hotel, Zinda Bazar, Sylhet. Local and international cuisines. Exclusive banquet hall for all events.
The Sudanese army said it broke a year-long siege on the city of Kadugli on Tuesday, potentially providing tens of thousands of people of reprieve from famine and signaling a shift in war's momentum. The conflict between the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces has displaced millions, drawn in regional powers and caused a vast humanitarian crisis since it broke out in April 2023. Its latest frontline in Greater Kordofan region, which the RSF began sweeping through after the rainy season ended late last year. The RSF did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Jan England, head of Norway Refugee Council, said he witnessed massive unchecked suffering among those who fled Kadugli to camps in SPLMN territory. Kadugli and nearby El Dalange had been under siege on and off since the start of the war. Estonia's Tax and Custom Board said late on Tuesday it had detained a container ship sailing under the Bahamian flag in Estonia's internal water that may be linked to smuggling from Ecuador. There is reason to believe that the vessels may have been used for smuggling. The authorities said in a statement the police special unit K Commander boarded the ship, after which the vessel was detained under national supervision for the purpose of carrying out a customs inspection. The ship, named Baltic Spirit, was en route from Ecuador to St. Petersburg in Russia and is not part of the Russia's shadow fleet, nor is it subject to European Union sanctions, they added. Before ending, we go through the headlines again. A party has emerged as new oppressor, says Tariq Rahman. One party is systematically spreading lies about the hacking of X accounts, says Jamaat-e-Islami chief. Government takes strict security measures for free, fair elections, says Home Advisor. Additional security measures to be taken at sensitive centers. You're up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV. And to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with us.